Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Alright, let's run this down quick because there's a lot to unpack in that scene. So the one, I will give it props at the gate in that one of my complaints with Metal Gear Solid 2 was that they kept briefing them en route. They gave them a full-ass mission briefing en route. And yeah, that can happen sometimes, but with a planned operation like this isn't like an immediate response thing, something like that. If this was a planned operation, usually you'll brief beforehand. And they did that mostly, and I appreciate that they did that. Like, he's briefing him at CIA headquarters and giving him the rundown on what's going on. So I appreciate they did the bulk of the briefing there. Now, they did the whole, I'm talking to you on the radio, which I don't know if the tech was there at the time. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if the tech was there for them to be talking during the Halo jump. But, and I get that that's for dramatic effect and such. Not a fan of that part, but I do appreciate they did the bulk of the briefing back at CIA. Speaking of Halo jump, so if they wanted to call this the world's first combat Halo jump, then that would be correct, because in real life the first combat Halo jump was in 1970. The first Halo jump would have taken place 4 years earlier in 1960. So that's neither here nor there. The Fulton Skyhook, I actually looked this up because I was like, I don't know what the deal is on that. I looked it up. So apparently in 1962, a couple of CIA operatives jumped into, let's see where this was, in the Arctic. So they jumped into the Arctic to an abandoned, it was an abandoned Soviet drift station, which a drift station is a temporary or semi-permanent facility built on an ice floe. So it was some kind of like, I'm guessing SIGINT or something like that, signals intelligence. They jumped in, collected some Soviet equipment, and then they used the Fulton Skyhook to extract the operatives. So that is actually, I don't know if they researched that, if they guessed it, but that was accurate. So that I saw that and I appreciated that. I didn't like that the briefing was a bunch of hey, let me give you a history lesson on U.S.-Soviet relations leading up to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, I felt that could have been condensed. That really could have been condensed. I rolled my eyes at, oh, what is this wonderful mission? Operators don't fucking talk like that. And like you're saying it in a serious tone. Like if he was like the class clown, because like yeah, a lot of teams have the class clown. Maybe the class clown would have said that facetiously, but no, that I felt that was dumb. A lot of the fucking dialogue, like I said, the dialogue in Metal Gear Solid 3 is arguably the worst dialogue in the series. And I didn't like how, oh, we're gonna tell you your code name on the radio once you're already on the ground. Like, really, dude? No, you did that during the briefing. That's all covered. So there's a 5-paragraph operations order. And the acronym that I was taught, I know that apparently they've changed it since I've gotten out. But the damn, I can't say the fucking word. The memory tool. I can't say that fucking word. But the memory tool I use to remember the operations order is Sergeant Major eats sugar cookies. So situation, mission, execution, service support, and command and signal. So that's your 5-paragraph operations order. So he would have gotten a warning order to, hey, spin up, get over to CIA, start getting ready to make a move. And then that would have been where the op order comes in. And then during that op order, under service and support, actually under command and signal. Under command and signal, he'd be given all the radio frequencies he's going to use. He's going to be given his call sign. He's going to be given his command's call sign. All of that stuff is going to be covered in the op order. So while they're briefing it to him on the fucking ground, again, just like, oh, I wish they'd localize it because they do not sound like Western Soft at all. Remotely, it sounds like a fucking 13-year-old like wrote a fan fiction of Western Soft. And that's why Hideo Kojima is a fucking he's a plotting genius. He plots very, very well. He directs games very, very well. He does that cinematic feel to games. I appreciate and respect all of that. The dialogue sucks. And because of his hubris, because of what happened with Jeremy Blostein in Metal Gear Solid 1, he refuses to fix it. Like, it gets a little better in MGS4, but this is like the low point dialogue-wise in the series. Just so painful to listen to. What else was I going to point out? Talking about extracting his family. It was Sokolov's family. That would have been a risky move to extract the family first, then extract him. But then again, you can come up with cover stories and such. It actually just reminded me, there's an author by the name of, hopefully I'm not butchering his name, James Stayskull. He is a Special Forces veteran. I believe he worked for the CIA for a bit. So Cold Warrior to the ends. He's a huge big time Cold Warrior. He was part of Special Forces Detachment Berlin, which is a big time special ops unit back in the day, back during the Cold War, and was tasked with spying on the Soviet army in East Berlin. And he wrote books that are fictional retellings of what might have happened during that time. So. But I remember the first book in his series, A Question of Time. Great books, by the way. If you are looking for special ops Cold War fiction, like, look him up. Look up James Stayskull, and you will love what he has to write. But they were going to extract a agent within the East German Stasi, which was their intelligence service, their equivalent of the KGB, and in many ways even more brutal than the KGB. But they were going to extract a asset they had inside of the Stasi, and I believe I have to go back and reread the book, but I recall them saying like, he's going to plan to go to his dacha for a holiday, and that would be when they extracted him. And so I could see something like that happening with Major Zero or Major Tom, whatever you want to call him, running that op. I could see that being the case. So that's something that popped in my head. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the other thing that bothered me about the again, this comes back to the dialogue, and I'm gonna make this my last point because I've been talking for about 5-6 minutes now on this. They kept saying moles, 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 moles. You wouldn't say that. You would say, "Hey, we received credible intelligence of X, Y, and Z." That's how they would talk. That's how it would be said. It wouldn't be one of our moles, one of our moles, one of our moles, one of our moles, one of our moles. Like, if you think you're speaking to a mentally deficient person that can't comprehend real talk, maybe you would speak like that. But if you were going for authenticity, if you were going for a feel of, oh, this could have happened, no, they approached it completely wrong. So there's lots of good points about this, and then there's plenty of bad points, and most of those bad points are coming from the dialogue. And so, again, maybe it's because I'm a writer, I've written books, and I know what it takes to write good dialogue in this genre. And no, this is Hideo Kojima is kind of like Tom Clancy in that regard. Clancy is very good at plotting. Clancy is very good at telling the overall story. His characterization was, oof, and his dialogue got really bad at times. And I feel like Hideo Kojima suffers from the same. But then again, that could be my perspective. I come from the David Mamet school of dialogue, where I'm looking for brevity. I'm looking for just punchy dialogue. I'm going for in and out. I'm trying to fucking get the sharp. I'm trying to get the dialogue, the message across in the shortest amount of words possible and as sharply as possible. So, hearing some of the dialogue in these games, is like nails on a chalkboard. But, alright, let's wrap that, and let's keep on pushing. Alright, so it's, I forgot, I gotta go. Oh, I don't have my backpack, so, okay, so I gotta be careful here. Whoa. What was the button? Nope, that's not the button. That's not the button. Okay, that's the change between traditional and new. So it's not... Okay, it's a little sensitive. Okay, I gotta check the controls. Because I know there's a button. Additional settings... Okay, it just booted me into this. I'm just looking for the button. There's a button that you can push where he will... Oh, I remember what it is now. Never mind. I remember now. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So it's the D-pad. So I'm not going to go back in there until I get my backpack, because I am deathly afraid of snakes, even in the digital format. And I am not trying to get bit by a fucking snake. So, and I know there's a snake off to the left, but I don't know exactly where. So I need my equipment before I can do that. What in the hell is this over here? I saw it. Oh, it's a bird. Okay, we're cool. That's a life, man. Okay, let's just climb up the trees. There's a snake here, too. It's about to be another long cutscene, so just buckle up for that.